This year, TYT's been making a lot of moves. Now you can too. Now, how are you going to do that? You want to launch a new business? That sounds fun. You're going to change careers? Geez, and Lord mercy. You're going to need a website for all that. Lucky for you, Squarespace also making moves. You're going to go to squarespace.com/TYT. You're going to get 10% off your first purchase, and you're going to get to build anything you want on that website with a unique domain. What are you, crazy? Go do it now. Go. Joining me now is Peter Jacob. He is running in the 7th District in New Jersey. That is unfortunately represented by a Republican, Leonard Lance, trying to make sure that that is not the case going forward. Of course, he's got a primary before that, but Peter, welcome to Rebel Headquarters.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So, first of all, let's talk about your policy positions. We'll get to Leonard Lance in a second. How does the audience know you're the most progressive guy in the race?
We stand for the issues that reflects the needs and the values of Americans. We know that your income determines how you live. It shouldn't determine if you live. And that is why we need a $15 minimum wage. We know that healthcare is a human right. And we can't just stop there by just saying that. That's just a platitude. What we need is a Medicare for all single payer system. In order to see any of that or address climate change or to address the fact that the gun manufacturers have bought out our Congress, we need to get to the crux of it all. And that is the role of money in politics. We need to not only overturn Citizens United, but we need to stop political bribery, period.
All right, that seems clear. So let's talk about money in politics for a second. I see here that you work with Represent Us and Move to Amend. Those are solid groups looking to get money out of politics, so that's really wonderful to see. What's your proposed solution for getting money out?
Yeah. So yes, we need a constitutional amendment, but that's going to take time. What we could do in the immediate present at this moment is pass what Represent Us has put forward, and that is the American Anti-Corruption Act. That essentially stops political bribery, holds lobbyists accountable. We need to make sure we end secret money. There's all these shadow organizations, dark money groups like Americans for Prosperity, quote unquote, that the Koch brothers have funneled money through to politicians. We need to make that transparent. And ultimately, we need to restore the voters' choice. And what we do is basically end gerrymandering, have open primaries, have automatic voter registration. These are basic, simple things that we can do. And the fact of the matter is, we already have 5 municipalities who've passed the American Anti-Corruption Act as a resolution right here in the state of New Jersey. Several counties and municipalities, even South Dakota, passed it as a bill that the Koch brothers have fought to repeal. But it is possible. It is something that we need to do. And I promise to continue that fight and be the first one, if nobody else beats me to it, to propose it on the House floor when we get elected.
Okay, now a lot of times Democrats have given up in this district. It's the 8th wealthiest district in America. But you ran last time and got 43.1% of the vote, which is very impressive. My guess is you did not have a lot of corporate PACs backing you in that run. And that, I don't know how much money you raised, but I can't imagine that it was a ton of money. But that's an impressive vote count. 1, how did you do it? And 2, does that mean the Democratic Party is backing you in this case?
You're absolutely right. Your guess is correct. No, we did not have any Democratic Party establishment support whatsoever. What I saw about 2 years ago around this time, when I had barely some scrapes, some family and friends put together some money, raise some money through them, and I had no name recognition whatsoever. But I saw the need. I saw what was happening. I saw the stakes were high and the time was limited to sit by and settle for anything less than brave, bold, and progressive policies. We raised $320,000. We spent about $2 per vote. The most cost-effective campaign with the highest return on our investment. And we ended up with the strongest campaign to date against the entrenched Republican in our district, Leonard Lance. So what we did is we went out and did the work. We got intrinsically motivated people from around the country, over 1,500 people across 14 states got involved in our campaign. And what really drove it was the issues. And that's the reason why I think that is more sustainable as a model than collecting as much money as possible and trying to run campaigns. People are excited about these issues. That's what we need to be going about throughout our nation, throughout our districts, and talking about Medicare for all, living wage, 100% renewable energy, and making investments by creating good paying jobs.
But Peter, the conventional wisdom is that in a district that is held by a Republican representative now and has for a while, that the way to go is to be a more moderate Democrat to appeal to the Republicans in the district. And I interviewed a more moderate Democrat in this particular race as well. So what do you think is wrong with that argument, if anything?
The tides have turned. Let me show you one example right here. This is what our opponents sent out. As you can see, Bernie Sanders, liberal, fiscal conservative, few days before election. And that went out to tons of people throughout our district. And yet we ended up getting the percentage we got. We did better than DCCC supported candidates in the past. People are responding to this message. I met those Trump voters, those Tea Party supporters, and Democrats who consider themselves centrists. Guess what? They like Medicare. They don't like the fact that Paul Ryan wants to privatize Social Security, Medicare. They know they're paying taxes into a system that is rigged against them. They know that money has corrupted politics, and they're tired of the fact that there is nobody to represent them and bring back investment right here at home. We are the 8th wealthiest district. We are home to big pharma. We are home to big telecom. We have some of the leading solar panel integrators in the state of New Jersey and in the entire country, in fact. But yet we have a congressman who has not tapped into the intellectual as well as financial capital to ensure that young folks who are coming back home have opportunities, to ensure that the next generation is better off than he was.
Yep. So I now know why you did so well in the last election. They accidentally sent out ads for you by calling you a Bernie Sanders liberal. So let's hope they make that mistake again this time. So speaking of this time, one more question about the Democrats. Given how close you came last time and how you proved to be a viable candidate, are they fully supporting you this time around?
This time, once more, we do not have support from the Democratic Party establishment. They have supported a banker, the county chairs in New Jersey. You cannot understate the importance of the county parties. And in the largest county, the chair already went forward and supported this banker. They promised us an open convention and to remain neutral, yet they went forward. I got a call a few weeks back and they say they already decided. That's not democracy. So we don't anticipate support from the Democratic Party establishment. What we do anticipate and what we do have, having run already once and having this base of supporters and having the name recognition, is that everyday people who are fed up with politics as usual are engaged in our campaign to flip this district. So it's the people that we go to who are seeing life every single day, trying to put food on the table and still not making ends meet, trying to pay for their kids' college, watching grandma cut her pills in half because she can't afford her medications. Those are the people who want to see this district flipped. And those are the people who are supporting our campaign.
So I want to put up links to help Peter. You've got small dollar donations got to make up for the corporate. He's a Just Democrat, so he's not taking any corporate PAC money. In order to beat those giant corporations, you got to help out. And if you're anywhere near that district, obviously volunteer, and the website's there as well. The links are all in the description box, so you could easily click on them if you're watching on YouTube after the show airs, and then on Facebook, it'll be in the comment section. So, Peter, it is amazing. Progressives will run. They'll do well. This happens all across the country. Another Just Democrat, Colonel Applegate, is one example, but there's dozens of examples. They'll do really well, and then Democrats will come in and go, okay, great, you've proven that this race is winnable and that you're a viable candidate. So now step aside and let a rich person run. Okay. And the reason they do that, because their metric is not actually being able to win. It's the money. And it's not even money as a decider or a predictor of who can win. It's money to spend money, because a lot of these decisions are being made by Democratic consultants and the money goes to consultants. So Peter, what you said earlier, you said in a note of pride that you had spent the money the most efficiently of almost anyone in the country. But the Democratic Party looks at that and goes, what a shame. Because what they want to see is you raise a lot of money, give it to their consultant friends. In fact, we know Young Turks uncovered a memo that showed that that you are directed to spend 75% of your money on pre-selected consultants that the Democratic Party has selected for you. And if you're not wasting your money on them, they're not going to help you.
Absolutely. It's what I like to call the campaign industrial complex. And we've seen it in election cycle after election cycle, and guess what? We keep losing because of it. They say that they're going to back you, all the establishment folks. They want that DCCC money or whatever progressive group to come in. Then these folks who know nothing about the district, who many of them, some of them do care, but many of them don't. For them, it's just another gig. They come in, they cash out, and then they move on to the next race. The difference with our campaign is, again, like last year, we had a fisherman from Massachusetts who worked on the Bernie campaign. We had another guy who was our data guy who worked on the Bernie campaign. These were intrinsically motivated people. We built the Democratic Party, engaging people and bringing them into the fold by just doing something simple, telling the truth and being bold and brave with the issues that mattered most. That's a more sustainable approach. If we want to win, we have to talk about the issues that would lead us to that victory. And there is a fundamental reason why Bernie Sanders is the most popular politician in this country. It's not because being a 70-some-year-old, bald, glasses-wearing Jewish guy is a sexy thing. No, he is popular because he is honest. The Democratic Party has an issue with trust, and we need to regain the trust of the people by saying no corporate PAC money in our campaigns, that we want healthcare as a human right by a Medicare for all single-payer system. We are going to create good paying jobs, not just jobs. Politicians always come by. Look, I'm a social worker. I've seen a ton of them come to my social service agencies and say, you want a job? I'm going to get you a job. You know what my clients say? Guess what? I got 3 of them. Great. We need good paying jobs in this country. We need to restore the vision of Franklin Roosevelt and MLK and A. Philip Randolph. We need to invest in the people of our communities, not just give out handouts to the ultra wealthy corporations that have bought out every single politician in our country for the most part.
All right, Peter Jacob, everybody, in New Jersey's 7th district. And look, we ran out of time to talk about Leonard Lance, the Republican incumbent there. Let me just tell the audience, he pretends to be a moderate. He voted with Trump 96% of the time. And he's against net neutrality. He flipped from being pro-choice to being anti-choice. There's no reason why, and there shouldn't be a single Republican congressman from the state of New Jersey. That is a black mark on the blue state of New Jersey. So luckily, Peter Jacob's gonna help fix that. Thank you for joining us at Rebel Headquarters.
Thank you for having me.
If you like the interview that you just watched, I got great news for you. If you become a Young Turks member, you can watch them live as they happen. Only the members get that. You also get Young Turks live. You also get Aggressive Progressive live and Old School live. Everything is available for the members and commercial free. tytnetwork.com/join.